Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So I think this took by a lot of people by surprise to see that Jack Sherrill is now leading in my average. And I've already got one like. Shout out to that one like. But yeah, I have come out and decided that Jack Sherrill very likely to possibly pull this one off. Mostly due to because of the outline of this race. And I'm not going to say that he's going to win. I'm not going to promise you he's going to win. But as of right now, if the election were held today, he probably could possibly pull this one off. And I also want to be very careful of that. I also will say that Sherrill could possibly take back the lead in my average. There will be another poll again next week in the next coming weeks of this, but this is obviously my prediction of the week as we hit New Jersey. And my decision was made because of a bombshell poll that was made from the most accurate polling source of the 2021 election. National Research Incorporated has predicted that Jack Sherrill would possibly pull this one off with 46% of the vote. Now, it's important to note that, obviously, it's 4 points out of the margin of error. This is what opponents of the poll would say. 4 points out of the margin of error, along with Jack Sherrill not hitting a ceiling size of 50. Well, he doesn't have to hit a ceiling size of 50 because 50% is for red states, okay? We're talking about a blue state. So obviously, expectationally, Jack Sherrill isn't going to hit 50%. If he's hitting 50% in a bombshell poll, then that's huge. That is absolutely bombshell, livid, big news if he's actually doing that. We also recognize the context that, let's be honest, Sherrill, let's see, does she have Republican endorsements? I imagine she does. Yeah, she has the Rhino governor, former Republican. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Republicans endorse her. But you also have, of course, yes, you have Christine Whitman, the former Republican, now a part of the Forward Party. But now you have Jack Sherrill actually coming in with Democrat endorsements, like the mayor of Dover in Morris County, James Dodd. And Morris County, and once again, it's a county that, hey, you got to really focus your energy in. And I've been stressing far enough that in the part of the beginning of this year, I suggested that Sherrill would win Morris County, but ever since you had James Dodd give an endorsement from Dover, which is really a community of around, 18,000 people, makes kind of the population of Morris County. I've suggested that, the county could possibly be Republican. And let's be honest, Jack Sherrill won the county by 55%. In 2021, it said that he's possibly going to do better. He probably would carry the county. Now, it's important to know there's been a lot of misinformation that Sherrill is actually from the county. No, she's not. She's actually from Essex. And even if she was from Morris County, we've seen time and time again, people from these populated areas in these counties don't really soothe well in general elections. We've seen Sherrill do very well in Morris County in the primaries. That's because in primaries, people tend to vote by their residency. Oh, Mikey Sherrill's the local candidate. I'm going to vote for her. Josh Gothenheimer was from Bergen County. It voted for Josh Gothenheimer. Why surprise? Surprise. You also have, of course, in southern New Jersey, Stephen Sweeney. He specifically won in the two counties in southern New Jersey, and those are the two counties that he represented in the legislature. He's been let's just say a veteran of southern New Jersey for a very long time. Sean Spiller, nobody, who was eliminated in the first debate out of the 4 debates, never came back again. Actually, no, he was president in the second debate, but never again. He pulled through, beating Stephen Sweeney by 10% of the popular vote. He actually picked up one county, and that had to be his home county of Captain County. So you see, it's very, very well the possibility that obviously you pull things out of the when it comes to winning in your local areas. You also had the mayor of Ross Baraka, mayor of Newark. He won in Essex County. But also from, this isn't Monmouth, but it's also a county below that. He also pulled through from there. But yes, but general election wise, it's going to be mainly not on location, but policies. And it's proved time and time again that, Mikey Sherrill, she doesn't have much of a playing field to play on, because you had a very unpopular governor, low approval rating, more unpopular than Donald Trump. In this debate, Mikey Sherrill hasn't even said the word Murphy once, and I think she has. I haven't finished the debate, but obviously, in the good quarter of the debate, you do have, of course, a lot of people trashing in this live stream of this is by moderate voters. But what I was about to say is, specifically, Mikey Sherrill, all she reflected to was Trump, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that, Trump bad, Trump this. And that was all she talked about. She suggested that, Jack Ciattarelli isn't going to sue Trump. What is the sue Trump over? Sue Trump over what? She said about to get something that he took from New Jersey, like, I don't know, education, or like, housing costs, or housing, something like that, or property tax, or whatever it is. And she thinks the answer to that solution is by suing Trump. She's trying to cater to the Trump delusion base. And obviously, it's telling by the comments and the reactions to this debate, it's not doing and sitting well. Yes, you do have some liberal people there from the beginning, but I could read the comments. It said, typical woman making it about her. She's a liar. She's a horrible speaker. You could call out political violence while calling out the hate speech. She's a moron. So stupid, Kimmel, referencing Jimmy Kimmel, as she has mentioned, trying to politicize Jimmy Kimmel's firing, who was rehired by Disney, by the way, but that's pretty irrelevant. But she tried to politicize Kimmel's firing that was decided by ABC and Disney alone, to make her argument, and they're calling her out on it, which is amazing. Here you go. You have this Ain Smith woman trying to say Trump 2.0, which I do think is a compliment, I can take it as, because Jack Ciattarelli is actually trying to get things done in New Jersey. You do have something, this liberal Douglas Johnston guy, who is a clown, going through profanity. He is defaming. He says, "Oh, please, Jack. Crapola talk by Jack. Bleep xenophobic Charlie Kirk. His murder was vile and stupid." Stupid. What's stupid? I never heard of that word. And terrible for our country and his family, but he does not deserve to be lionized as some hero. But you just called him xenophobic, like, and you just threw an F-bomb at him. And now you turn around and you tell me, okay, I can't believe I'm debating some silly commenter, but this guy's irrelevant. But the point I'm trying to make is, you do have some liberals here, but you do have a lot of conservatives. Like, I've seen a lot of more, other than this person and this person, these three comments, I've seen a lot of these conservatives. You got Melissa Hortman was killed by Tim Walz's guy, suggesting that Tim Walz was behind it. We honestly don't know. Kimmel is a scumbag, and so are you. We have a lot of these comments, and you also have overwhelming comments in favor of Jack Ciattarelli. Jack, you got my vote. 11 likes. She admitted she's going to increase sale taxes. 17 likes. She's like Kamala Harris, but with less word salad. She has a very similar tenure and way of delivering platitudes without specifics. 18 likes. This debate has confirmed it for me that 100% voting for Jack in November. Yeah, and you get moments like this, where wild moment, Melissa Hortman suggests that Jack Sherrill hates MLK Jr. And she gets booed out of the audience for this viral. I don't say viral; it isn't gone viral, but it is a pretty shell-shocking moment that you get a lot of people calling her out, even the audience. Let's suggest here
political violence. I also think it's fair, Jack, to speak up when you disagree with something. And so if you want to stand up that Martin Luther King was a bad guy, or that women should submit to their husbands, you, Jack, are welcome to do that. And I have the right to say that I disagree with it.
Okay, so you saw that. Now, she wasn't roared out of tone deaf. But you do get what we do have to establish, that you do have some lunatics, because Jack got booed too, but he got booed over the most pettiest reason. And in fact, I think honestly this could help him in the long run, because Jack, I don't think I can pull it up, and I know the liberals are like, oh, you're trying to hide it, blah 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 blah. Well, no, there's nothing to hide about saying the obvious about men can't be in women's sports. There's nothing to hide about that. And obviously, you had a major coke overdose by the audience, who roared out of anger about Jack Sherrill suggesting that we got to get biological men out of women's sports. So you do have a huge audience of liberals. And the fact that you got conservatives there booing Sherrill over, and just other moderates just booing Sherrill over this vile, what else did she say over that?
Husbands stand up that Martin Luther King was a bad guy, or that women should submit to their husbands.
So you see what she's trying to do. She is trying to quote Charlie Kirk once again. So she is a very vile person. She is suggesting the accusations that Charlie Kirk made. He hasn't, but the left has taken out of context that MLK is a bad person, according to Charlie Kirk. He isn't. This was taken out of context. And I haven't heard the exact, but we know for fact that Charlie Kirk, and I've heard Charlie Kirk praise MLK on many things, and I've heard Charlie Kirk point out the hypocrisy, saying that, hey, look, left, Democrats, MLK would not support this. He's right. So obviously, when you have stuff like this going on, it is quite telling. And going back specifically with the husbands, yeah, I've heard about that 100%. Oh, women should submit to their husbands. No, Charlie was trying to talk about a good, healthy family. Traditionally, a man leads the family. That's how a man goes. And Sherrill, who's a revolutionary leftist, suggests that, oh, man, she's trying to submit the woman. No, the woman has authority too. Like, for example, it's like the presidency and the vice presidency. Vice President Vance has just as a lot of authority as President Trump. He is the second figurehead. This is how a traditional structural family is supposed to go. The classical American family. That's the legacy of Charlie Kirk. And apparently, Mikey Sherrill decides it's an amazing idea to slander that legacy of Charlie Kirk on stage against Jack Sherrill. And I'm so sad that this isn't going viral, because this is obviously what she's trying to do. She's trying to use defame Charlie Kirk against Jack Sherrill. And I'm kind of disappointed that Sherrill didn't point that out. Like, hey, look, yes, these are viral comments. And obviously the audience pointed that out.
Stand up that Martin Luther King was a bad guy, or that women should submit to their husbands. You, Jack, are welcome to do that.
The audience clearly pointed that out. And you still have people ripping in the comments. Of course, you have the Stuff Are Us going off. But you do have this lady says, she is clueless. She is a liar. I can't watch this. Yeah. She sucks at this. Go Jack. Of course, this lady named Teresa. Of course, you do have some lunatics running around suggesting stuff, but passionate liberals. But I'll tell you, the conservatives overweigh the passionate liberals, which are irrelevant. But yes, this is pretty much my prediction for the video, so I will not be doing a political mapping prediction as I usually do. This is pretty much, I just released it right here. This is pretty much how I think it's going to look like. Now that I think of it, I do think this would be a little bit lighter. Let's just say that's Union County, and Union County is a traditional Democratic stronghold. It did vote for Ross Baraka, and because it voted for Ross Baraka, it could probably swing more to the right. I'm curious to know how it voted for President Trump. I would imagine it voted 60% for Harris. This time around, though, just because on paper, Murphy's destroyed the state so badly that I do think that the county would shift more to the, let's see here. Yeah. I can actually change it, guys. Let's pull up my map. Yes. Because a lot of people will say, how do you make these stuff? I make it on paint.net. You can use this. It's free. Make your own prediction map. There you go. And I'm not going to re-upload it, but this is pretty much how I think it's pretty much going to look like. And this is pretty much a pretty good Jack Sherrill victory. But yeah, you have this bombshell poll coming out. It is huge because we talk about where Jack Sherrill was during this day. Today, the 22nd of September. Where was he currently in the polls against Murphy? All right, let's find out. I'll tell you what. Going all the way down here. The last poll was released. It was 50 to 41. Well, we do want to point out specifically the poll. I want to believe it's got one poll. National Research, yes. National Research, the last poll it released, which was around this time, 45% for Murphy, 42% for Sherrill. It's very accurate. Very accurate. I mean, pretty much correct. You could take, I don't want to tell people go ahead and take National Research's word and run with it. Then again, and you can't, I can't make myself any more clear than it already is. I am not going to mislead my channel. Just think that, expect a Sherrill victory. This obviously can change over time very quickly. But right now, it is not looking good for Sherrill. She does not have the public support. She's all in California. She keeps going back to California. Sherrill is outdoing her when it comes to the campaigning. Sherrill, realistically, I would imagine, is doing more door knocking than he did in 2021. It looks very possible that he could pull this off. And if he does, this ruins the year for Democrats. I don't care if you win Virginia. Good for you. Virginia's a blue state. What message are you trying to tell us? We want a Kamala Harris +6 state. That should hurt you. And if we win this state, which is a Democrat state, imagine what we could do in the midterms. And that's what Democrats should be talking about. Oh, we won Virginia, ha, ha, ha. Oh, so what? It's your state. That's why I'm telling you guys, if we lose both states, we should not try to lose these states. We should try to win it. But if we lose them, we shouldn't throw our heads and bang. Like, the liberals want us to throw a meltdown over this. No, they're blue states. No. The pressure is on Democrats, because if they lose New Jersey, then that speaks volume on where their party is going. They're losing people, which keep their states in their favor. Democrat states. Without them, you could see a red New Jersey, and I'm just saying, yeah, it's not looking good. And if Sherrill wins, it's pretty much sold. I wouldn't say sold, but it's a good shot that New Jersey will be a battleground state in 2028. But anyway, what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.